I think Penn State punishes them, and we find out what Cade McNamara really is, and we see that 54% completion percentage really hurt them this week.
And you never want to go against James Franklin against the spread at home. That's an old tale, because I swear to God, that motherfucker knows the spread, and he can say what he wants to. Week 1 was the example of that. So
yeah, but he also
4th and goal, they run the cover play.
He also doesn't win. He also doesn't win big games either. So there's that.
And so I get Joey's point, because I've actually talked to a couple other people about this game, and they also lean Penn State, or like Penn State in this game, because they're very much afraid of Iowa's offense. And I agree with Cheese. I'm actually excited for this game on the fact that we're really going to see what this Iowa team is about. I don't think we're going to see what Penn State's about. I think we know what they're about. I think we're going to see what Iowa's about. But that makes me think that they'll get up and play for him. And doesn't Ferentz always win the game that he shouldn't win? He loses some games he shouldn't lose, right? But he always finds a way to win a game he shouldn't win either. And it's always that ugly monsoon, 17-13 game. So who knows?
I definitely agree with you, AK. I mean, the dude's definitely a winner. My big thing here was, after looking at the schedule, I'm convinced Iowa could lose this game and still win 8 or 9 games easily. Yeah. I really am convinced. Forever grateful for CT putting me onto this. But I mean, it's an Iowa offense that is absolutely nowhere to be found. Yeah, they are bad. They are like awful on offense. Yeah. And now you get the Big Ten opener and prime time at night and a whiteout in Happy Valley. Like, Penn State's going to be bumping Saturday night.
Oh, by the way, you lost their number 1 receiver in Luke Lachey and their tight end too. So that doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
He was their number 1 receiver.
He's their tight end. He's out. He's out. Patterson's out. Johnson's out. I don't know where they find points. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, I hate this game, but if there's a monsoon, I definitely lean taking the points here for sure. Given the fact that, Iowa's going to play good defense. That's the one thing you do know. They're going to play good defense. And on the flip side, we're talking about Iowa's offense being nowhere to be found. I mean, to be honest, Penn State's offense hasn't been that great either. Given the fact that, they've played West Virginia, Delaware, and Illinois. They haven't played Murderer's Row by any stretch of the imagination.
Which I will say, West Virginia has surprised me some. I got on this show and trashed that team before the season started.
That West Virginia win looks halfway decent right now.
I agree. 100% agree, Cheese.
Yep. How much better is it? How much better does it look if they beat the shit out of Texas Tech?
100% agree. Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about. I mean, Jordan, you're talking about Penn State offense. You're saying you're not really impressed with. I mean, averaging 185 yards a game more than Iowa. I mean, it's a lot.
I mean, that's not saying
it's going down the football. That's going down the football field twice, pal.
I was allergic to playing offense, dude.
This is exactly.
This is a coach that loves to punt from the 40, dude. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how they are. But I mean, Penn State's offense, when we talk about explosiveness in offense, I mean, dude, they're near the end of the league in explosive plays on offense. They're just not an explosive offense. I think to beat Iowa, you have to get explosive plays. And I think that's where it could become an issue. Iowa may not be able to score, but if there's a weather issue, Iowa's going to play great defense. We know that. They're not going to give up big plays, right? So, in turn, with that, I like the under, and if I like the under, I lean the dog for sure. No play for me in this game, without a doubt, because, I mean, when Iowa got Cade McNamara, I was like, oh my God, Iowa actually got a quarterback. This is going to be different. Dude, that offense still sucks, dude. At some point, when does Brian Ferentz get his job fucking taken away from him, dude? His dad can only save him for so long.
Yeah.
It's got to happen soon. All right, let's move into Florida State and Clemson. Obviously, Joey was on here talking earlier about how he likes Florida State to win the national championship, which is outrageous, must I add. AK and I like Clemson to win the ACC. I've kind of shifted my opinion on Clemson this year after watching a couple games. But what's your thoughts on this game, Joey? Right, currently this line is at 2.5. Clemson catching 2.5 at home. Total's at 55.5. Obviously, lines vary, so shop around what you like. But what's your thoughts on this game?
I saw some -2s earlier, but real quick, I just want to be clear, Jordan. Florida State plays USC on a neutral field. That line's Florida State -14.5. That's how bad they beat the shit out of USC. Just letting you know that right now.
Fuck no, dude. I will take your action. 14.
I would love for our buddy Guns to be on the show and start like doing the shooting when he shoots people on live air. Like I would love for the Guns to be going off right now.
Where's Irvin at, dude? That's the Where's Irvin
shooting
at?
People?
Yeah. So it's no secret here. I'm high on this Florida State team. Like I gave them out a month before the season, over 9.5, over 10. Jordan Travis win the Heisman and FSU to win the Natty. I gave it all out probably a month before the season started. With that being said, I think football's passed Dabo up over in Clemson. I really do.
Yeah, I agree.
The line just absolutely screams Clemson.
Yep, I agree.
Screams Clemson, and it bothers me. The bottom line for me here is this is a game Florida State could afford to lose and still win the national championship. So I'm okay with it either way. Would I like to see them win? Yes. Do I think they need this game? No, I don't think they need it. I think it would help. But let's be serious. I mean, how much does this win benefit Florida State if they just go out and thrash them based on what we've seen from Clemson? Like, that's not really that impressive either, right?
I still think it would be an impressive win going into Clemson and beating them. But I do agree with you. Like, I definitely think that we could see 3 of the 4 college football playoff teams have 1 or 2 losses outside of Georgia, who has a fucking cake of a fucking schedule every fucking year, dude. And I don't even think Georgia's that good this year, to be honest.
I think they suck.
Yep. But, I mean, they're going to go undefeated because they don't play anybody all year, dude. They play the fucking Redkin School of fucking Fashion and like all these other fucking garbage. Like it's a joke, dude. Like it's an absolute joke, and it needs to be fixed. But I mean that's for another story. But I agree with you. Like they could lose this game at Clemson, and like I don't think it affects their position in the college football playoff, given the fact that they already beat the living dog shit out of the LSU, and they could run the table the rest of the way. Like this might be the only game they lose all year.
Well, yeah. So let's be realistic here. So they lose this game. Who do they let's just say they walk to the ACC championship, right? Who do they play in the ACC championship?
Clemson.
North Carolina. Who?
I was going to say North Carolina
or Carolina.
Yeah. I think it's only North Carolina on the other side.
Yep, I agree.
But like, what do you make that line? Florida State's an 8-point favorite. Dude, I mean, let's be serious.
Yeah. No, let's
7.5 probably.
If you think Florida State's 14.5 against USC, then you got to make that line like 28, dude.
I was obviously just trying to get under your skin. I don't think it's that high.
I know.
Versus USC, it would probably be like 14, but
I won't be playing. Yeah, I won't be playing this game because the line. Cheese took the words out of my mouth. I looked at this line and I just kept scrolling. I'm like, oh well, Clemson's probably going to beat them. Just like I just didn't want any part of it because naturally, I think Florida State just goes in there and beats them by 10, right? But to your point, I think this game means a whole lot more to Clemson, all right? And that's
AK,
probably
what
all the bookmakers are thinking.
If Clemson loses this game, their season's absolutely over.
Yep, done.
I'm not going to lie, their season's probably over anyways.
I think there's still a chance that it's alive if they win the game, but if they lose this game, that's already 2 losses, 2 conference losses too.
Yep.
I mean, you could pack them up, dude. It's over.
I mean, you don't recover from a loss like the loss they have.
Yep. And they still got to play Notre Dame and North Carolina, fellas. Clemson.
Yep.
Yeah, which are both very losable games. Yep. Might not be favorites in either one of them.
Nope.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey, they've got to go on the road versus Miami. I mean,
yep. Miami looks good. But I mean, we already know Mario Cristobal is definitely going to lose some fucking games he should win.
Yeah, yep. as 20 and a half point favorites. Fucking dudes.
They've actually got a pretty tough Temple defense this week.
Oh, don't tell me you're betting that game.
I'm not, but I still believe Temple's got a very good defense.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, we talked about Temple. We both like their win total over. Good thing we didn't bet it, but that's here nor there. All right, so what are you guys leaning on this game here? We're all leaning Clemson a little bit.
I do personally. Yeah. If I had to make a bet.
Yeah. I refuse to use the words I like Clemson here just because of my love for Florida State this year. But I'm never betting Florida State in this spot. How about that?
Jordan, let me plug something real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
9 years ago when I started gambling every day, and unfortunately or fortunately, I've been doing it every day for about 8 or 9 years now. This is when I used to just go smash Florida State like money line and lay like whatever it is, minus 135, right? And just off of principle that I think Florida State goes in there and thrashes them. And what I've learned over the years is a lot of things, but lines kind of tell the story, or at least they tell the shaded story.
Yep.
And so just based off of those things, man, that's why years ago I would have just smashed Florida State. I think Clemson probably pulls away and covers the 3 or 2.5 or whatever it is.
AK's lying when he says he bets every day because a couple weeks ago he texted me. He said he didn't bet anything. He said it was a great cleanse.
It was a 24-hour cleanse.
Well, I'm kind of proud of myself. I went all summer with betting 10 baseball games.
Yep. I remember that.
So glad. I responded to Jordan's tweet. I don't know if he ignored me on purpose, but
you're better than me.
2023 MLB season, because I still look at games every day.
Yep.
I look at lines and follow, obviously. I would have been down $1 million.
No, I appreciate one of Cheese's tweets on one of my tweets. I think the Mariners were playing the Blue Jays. And I can't remember how it went, but I think Cheese liked the Blue Jays just by like quickly looking at it. And I tweeted out that I was playing the Mariners, and I think the Mariners ended up winning that game. And Cheese said, "Thanks for saving me a nickel, man." So that's just kind of the epitome of how baseball season went.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I mean, tons of good baseball cappers out there are just down heaps. I mean,
millions.
Baseball season's been funky, dude. A lot of weird shit.
Actually, We won't go there, Jordan, but the Cincinnati Reds today. So there you go.
Yeah.
Dude.
I read the timeline. I read Jordan's timeline this morning. It's like you watched the decline.
Yeah, as the Reds climb, and then the guy jumping off the top of the skyscraper.
Yeah. Then the best is like when he's like, hey, if I bet the other way, their bullpen closes it out. But I went the other way, so their bullpen gave up the lead.
Dude.
Yeah, it was great.
AK knows by default, like me and him have been on the Twins a couple of times, and Gavin Jackson is just fucking. He's been the reason why we lose games, and of course today, AK texted me in the top of the ninth or bottom of the ninth. He's like, "Oh, Gavin Jackson's in. We have a shot here," and of course he goes out there, fucking shuts it down, dude.
No, actually, he had a leadoff walk. And I was like, okay, all right, here we go. This is it. And then he fucking just, turns into Sandy Koufax and Randy Johnson in their prime, so.
Yeah. In my personal opinion, it really hurts me to say it. You can look right over my shoulder. I have a Mets. You can't really tell, but that's a Mets flag right there. So I had to let my ego go and put my pride aside and take it down a couple days ago because I fly a Mets flag in Boston. But I think the Atlanta Braves just give them the fucking title now.
No.
It pains me to say it. Give them the title. No. It's over.
Nah, it's baseball.
Me and Jordan have gone back and forth about that because I said the same thing, Cheese.
It's baseball.
I fucking hate them. I hate them more than anybody. More than anybody. They own the National League East. They own the Mets. I hate them. They are absolutely filthy, and they are going to continue to be filthy.
Baseball's a weird sport, though, man. Every year, basically, the best team doesn't win. Not every year, but a majority of years.
No, I agree. I mean, big faves lose like in the first round. It happens for sure. I just think this team's different. I really do. They're so good, top to bottom.
They do not quit.
They are loaded.
Quit.
As they
Acuna is the best player in baseball by a country mile.
As they lost 7 of their last 10, he's saying this. Going into the
they're
playoffs,
on coast mode now. This always happens. We know this, Jordan.
Yeah.
Going into the playoffs limping, dude. That's what
they're like 133-25. It feels like. That's what it feels like. Every time I look at the scoreboard, they're up 9-2, 8-3, just fucking killing teams.
Or on the flip side of that, they'll be down 6-3 in like the 7th inning, and then they end up winning 9-6 because they scored 6, innings off the fucking other team's bullpen. So,
yeah. Fuck Atlanta. What's next?
Let's get our best bets, man.
Let's do it.
Let's go, y'all.
All right, Joey. You lead us off. You're the guest. Give me your best bets that you're firing this weekend.
So I'm gonna save some stuff here for my Foreidiots show.
All right,
tomorrow night.
There.
But I went to Middle Tennessee State. I got them at -2.5. So it's gonna be tough for me to give it out. I'm seeing some 3.5s. I think you could shop around, probably find a 3 here somewhere. I did see it came down in a couple spots. It's a Blue Raiders team. They're 1-2 on the year. But if you look at their schedule, their losses are to Alabama and Missouri. Coming off a W versus Murray State, where they won 35-14, they finally got the offense to click. They weren't playing a top-tier SEC team, one of these big schools. Finally got to get the ball rolling. Quarterback Nick Vadiato, he's throwing the ball for like 640 yards, 5 tutties, 2 interceptions on the year. Also has almost 100 yards on the ground rushing. So I think this is a Middle Tennessee State team. I think that could move the ball against this Colorado State defense. It's like the greatest hangover spot I could ever possibly dream of here, right? Colorado State. Looked at their schedule. I got some friends that are on there over 4.5. Some guys that were pretty a little bit higher on them earlier in the season. And looking at their schedule, I don't know if this team gets to 4.5. To be honest with you, I certainly don't think this is a game they win. They lost to Colorado last weekend, but it was an absolute shootout, right? Double OT loser, 43-35 or something like that, right? Yep. Double OT. Avery Morrow, running back for Colorado State, has some pretty impressive numbers. 78 yards rushing on the season. That's just not going to cut it, boys. This Colorado State team ain't going to run the ball against this Middle Tennessee State team. I'm telling you right now. So it's basically what it boiled down to for me. Colorado State's given up an average of 46 points per game. Granted, one of them was versus Colorado, but it's not a team I'm very high on. I think Middle Tennessee State wins this game comfortably.
All right. AK?
So you guys know I don't like laying huge favorites on the road, but I'm kind of going to go against the grain here because I think it's a perfect spot. Hitting out the Cincinnati's first Big 12 game. They got Oklahoma coming to town. And I think it's a wake-up call for Cincinnati, and welcome to the Big 12 moment. Dylan Gabriel, he looks the part. Cincinnati lost to Miami of Ohio last week. The Pittsburgh win to me doesn't look that great because Pittsburgh's not the team a lot of us thought they were going to be. And I think if Oklahoma has the chance, which I think they do, they will step on Cincinnati's throat. Welcome to the Big 12. And here's the thing. Oklahoma offense is as advertised. I've been more than impressed with them. I know we talked about it all coming into the offseason, but it's coming to fruition now. And I know people will bring up the SMU game. I think SMU is a tough team. I think SMU is going to compete in that conference. I really do. So that 28-12, game over SMU where they struggled a little bit, I'll throw that one out. And Oklahoma steps on Cincinnati's throat. Oklahoma -14.
Nice, like it. All right.
Their offense is so filthy.
It's so good.
They just go up and down. They go up and down the field like it's no one's business. Gabriel throws such a good ball. They're going to be a tough out for sure this year.
Yep. All right, my best bet. We're going out west to the Pac-12. We're going Cal +21 against Washington at Washington. Cal's 59th in the country in success rate versus the pass and allow less than 2 explosive plays per game, which I think benefits their defense. They're also 32nd in the country in rushing success rate, 24th in PPA per rush, and 27th in explosiveness. Washington allows 43% success rate against the rush, which I think only benefits Cal. Obviously, Jaden Knott can get going. They can control the clock, really limit possessions for Washington. I also think Cal is more battle-tested than Washington at this point. Having played Auburn, they had to go to North Texas and play in fucking dwindling heat down there. And also, Justin Wilcox, ATS, AK shared this with me. Justin Wilcox, ATS over 4 points, 23-6 against the spread. So this guy just loves the cover. And last year, Washington only beat Cal by 7 points.
They should have beat him.
Yeah, Cal probably should have.
Cal had him up at halftime.
And Cal's better this year. Cal's a better team this year, in my opinion. So I know they're going to Washington, but this is Pac-12 after dark. And when Pac-12 after dark happens, weird shit happens. So give me Cal plus 21. Let's go.
Yeah, I love that one, Jordan.
Thanks, AK. Make sure to follow Joey on Twitter or the X or whatever you want to call it at DGen for Life 84. That's DGen, the number 4 Life 84. He's on the Foreidiots Pod on Fade U. He's also on the Ham and Cheese podcast. Make sure to follow him. My guy's got a lot of good insight. Very sharp guy. So thank you, Joey, for coming on, man. We really appreciate you coming on. And I know you're on the East Coast like AK, so appreciate you staying on late, man.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Been a pleasure. Anytime. Already had AK on our show. Jordan, you're up next. Your time will come. It's always nice shooting the shit with the boys, talking sports. We could do this for hours on end. It ain't nothing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So obviously, I appreciate the invite, boys, and it's been real.
Yes, sir. For Joey, for AK, I'm Jordan Sacks on Slash. We will be back on Sunday, the Week 2 NFL recap. Make sure to go to Sharps, SHARPZ, download the app. Use promo code JORD517. Get locked up. Track your bets. Become a better. Let's have a blessed weekend, y'all. Let's win some fucking money. Let's do this. We are out. Have a good night.
See you, boys.
Peace.
Thanks for being on, Joey.